Welcome to this TeamCity tutorial by softpost.org. In this tutorial we are going to look at different topics like introduction to the TeamCity, then installation, user management, setting up project, creating project from the scratch, then project configuration and build configuration. So this will be covered in the part 1, that is this video. So let us start with the introduction of the TeamCity. So TeamCity is the continuous integration server and it is developed by the company called as JetBrains. So some of the main features of the TeamCity are it allows multiple build agents, then it can be run on the Amazon cloud, allows multiple build configuration and build steps, and it also provides the dashboards for viewing reports. We can also create the charts, and it also integrates very well with the version control systems like Git, SVN, etc. We can also like run the builds developed builds for the project developed in Visual Studio, IntelliJ IDEA, and any other IDEs like Eclipse. So it's very versatile and most popular continuous integration server in the market today. And you can see this is the interface for the TeamCity. So that's all about introduction. Let us go ahead and know more about how to install the trial version of the TeamCity. So to download the TeamCity trial version, you can go to this website jetbrains.com TeamCity and then download this particular TeamCity for Windows. Once you download the installer and click on that, so it will start this download installation wizard will be started, and here you can install these components like built-in Windows server, Windows service, then server and Windows service. So it basically installs server and build agent on the same machine, and it needs this much space. Here you can select the default database and then run TeamCity server. Here you have to select the system account and not the user account, otherwise you might need to provide the credentials and all that stuff. So here you can select the services to start a build agent service and a server service. So we can click this both the check boxes, and after that you can, here in the next screen, you can configure the build agent properties like you have to specify the TeamCity server URL and all that stuff, system directory, working directory. So this is specific to the agent. These are the agent configurations or the agent properties. And finally you can start the TeamCity server by running this startup.bat and passing the start parameter. And once the TeamCity started, this is how it looks like initially. Here you have to create the user and password at the end, and once you do that, you will be logged into the TeamCity, and here you will you will be able to see this user interface. So this is the main interface, and from here you can create the projects, build configurations, etc. So that's all about installation of the TeamCity server, trial version of the TeamCity. Let us go ahead and try to understand how to manage the users and the groups. So to manage the users and the groups, what you have to do is you have to go to the administration page, and from there you can click on this users link on the left hand side and the groups link on the left hand side to view what all users are configured in this particular server. So as you can see, for this particular TeamCity server, we have got, it is still loading, let's wait for some more time. So as you can see, there are two users configured, Mark and Sagar, and we can also view the which groups they are into by clicking on this link. So you can see that Mark is under this groups, there's all users and testers. So that's how you can manage the users and groups. You can add different users and different groups into the TeamCity. Remember that you need to have admin access for that, or admin rights. The next thing is like setting up the projects. So you go to the home page or the dashboard of the TeamCity, and from here you can see that I have already configured these projects, and inside the projects we have got the build configuration. So each project can have multiple build configuration, as well as a project can have sub projects as well. So let me first of all show you how to create a new project. So to create a project, what you have to do is you have to go to the administration page again, and then here you will find projects link. click on that, and then you can create a project from the scratch or from the URL. So when I say the URL, you have to give the URL of the Git repository or the Git server. And when you are creating a project by scratch, you have to follow all these steps. Like when you are selecting it from the URL, it auto detects all the build steps, and all that things happen automatically. So let us create a project from the scratch. Let's go through this. So first of all, let me show you how to create a project from the URL. So click on the that link, and then here you can select the root project, like parent project for this project. So we can select root project, and then here you can give the repository URL. So it can be any HTTPS, SVN, or the Git repository URL. You can give that one. So if I go to the GitHub URL, I'm gonna copy one GitHub URL or the repository URL, say this one generated project, and from here I can copy this one and paste it over here. I can optionally give the user ID password, and then click on proceed. Once I click on proceed, it will automatically detect the project name and then build configuration name based upon the details from this repository, and then you have to click on proceed. So here it is auto detecting the build steps depending upon what all build systems or build management tools were used to develop this project. It detects the build steps. For example, if your project was developed using Maven, it will detect the build step as Maven. If it was developed in Gradle, it will detect the build step as Gradle. Then you can click on that and click on use selected, and that's it. Here it has already selected the clean test as the goal, and you can also add the triggers and all that things. So the trigger is nothing but when you want to run this particular build configuration. So you can give the PCS trigger or the schedule trigger. In the schedule trigger, you can specify the time at which the builds this particular build should be run, and you can also give the failure conditions, build features, dependencies, parameters. From the parameters, you can specify what all parameters you want to pass. Like you can pass configuration parameters, system properties, environmental variables, etc. And you can also specify if there are any agent requirements. And here, from here, you can also view like what all agents can run this particular build. So the sample build configuration is set up, and we have also set up the project as well. As you can see, the project can have these many settings: project name, project ID, and in the build configuration it will show all the build configurations that can be created inside this project. So a project can have 5 build configuration at the most for this particular server, and we can also create the templates if you want, and sub projects as well from here. So this is from the general settings. In the VCS routes, you can specify like the VCS routes of, for example, a Git repository or the SVN repository. Then from the report tabs, you can build the reports for your builds. Then from the parameters, we can pass parameters, build schedules, we can set up the schedules for the build. Then here you can upload the SSH keys. For example, if you are using SSH protocol to download the Git repository, you can use the SSH keys. And here you can give the cleanup rules as well. For example, if you want to clean the build results, so by default it doesn't clean anything, everything is kept forever, but you can click on edit, and then here specify like after how many days build should be clear, build history should be clear. So that's all about how to create a project and builds inside that. For example, we have created just one build over here with this build steps. In the general settings, you can give the build name. Then if you want to produce the artifacts, you can give the path of the target directory where the artifact is created by the build. So that artifact is copied at the end of the build run and then pasted saved onto the server, so you can access it later on. And I've already talked about triggers, failure conditions, parameters, and agent requirements. So after that, you can go ahead and run this build. So when you run the build, it is automatically added to the agents, assigned to the agent which is compatible to run that build. And as you can see, this build is running, it is updating sources, and then if you click on that, it will show you the actual log. If you click on the build log, it will show the exact steps that it is running. So as you can see, the checkout is done from this repository, and then it will execute the Maven test goal. And you can look at the changes tab to view what all changes have happened in this particular repository, like commits. In the overview tab, it shows how many builds have been run. Since this is the first run of this build, it is showing nothing. And as you can see, it is showing the hash one. That means this is the first run for this build. And if any artifacts are created, you can access those from this particular tab. And if there are any parameters to this build, you can access those parameters from here. So that's all about how we can create a build and then execute a sample build. So this is the home page for this particular project, and this is the main dashboard for the TeamCity. So as you can see, we added this JUnit project just now, and we have given this this build is running for this particular inside this project. So whenever you add the new builds, the build is added to the build queue. For example, if I run this build, Gradle build, and then again run another build, as you can see, the build queue is showing count as 2. That means there are 2 builds waiting in the queue, because there is just one agent that is connected, and that's why only one agent can one build can be run at a time. So these builds are waiting in the queue, and if you want to reorder, you can reorder those particular builds by dragging and dropping it like that. And if you want to remove these particular builds from the queue, you can also remove it by clicking on these buttons. And you can click on the agents to view like what agent is running which build. So here in the connected tab, it shows like there is only one agent right now connected, and then there are 0 disconnected agents, 0 unauthorized agents, and it also shows the metrics and the pools for the build agent. So from this matrix, you can view like what build agent is running which particular build configurations, or what are the compatible build agents. And from the main dashboard page, you can view like all the projects in the TeamCity server, like these are all the projects. And if you want to hide some projects, you can click on configure visible projects, and from here you can hide some of the projects. If you do not want to view the sample project, you can drag and drop it over here, and then sample 1 project will be hidden. As you can see, sample 1 project is not being shown over here because we have hidden that. So that's how you can hide or unhide the projects from the particular this dashboard. And for each build, we can actually go to that build configuration. You can edit that build configuration by clicking on edit settings. We can also look at history, change log, issue log, statistics, compatible agents, etc. All these settings we can access directly from this dashboard for each build configurations, as well as the project configurations can be seen by clicking on these links. Then to run any builds, just right in front of this build, you have this button run, and by clicking on that button, the builds are run. Or if you want, you can run custom build. Now here you can give the parameters to that build, or you can select the agent on which you want to run the build. So that's all about how we create a project, build configuration, how to set up build configurations, then run the builds, view the results, and then how to view the agents, then how to add the builds to the queue in TeamCity. So if you like this video, you hit like button, and thanks for watching.
Hi friends, if you find this video useful, please hit like button, and for more videos, please subscribe to my channel and also visit www.softpost.org for more tutorials and updated videos. Thanks for watching my video.